The circus returns to Birmingham, this time in the summer of 2021 for SEC Media Days. This will be my 20th or 19th SEC Media Days. I haven't missed any since 2002, and the pandemic took one from us. So what should we really expect from this non-event event? Dean Legge from Dog Post, making you a smarter Georgia fan. Kirby Smart and the Dogs go Tuesday, all right? And they go in the morning on Tuesday. And we'll have everything that you need to see, hear, know about the Dogs and JT Daniels and Jordan Davis and everything all those guys said on the site and here. The question is, what else should we see or expect coming out of Media Days? You've got a few coaches, two on the first day, who are coming into this thing a little bit, I don't want to say wobbly. Ed Orgeron at LSU is definitely in a wobbly situation. I don't think we can really say that about Dan Mullen, but Dan Mullen's got a little weird thing going on here. Since that loss to Alabama, since the loss to LSU and Easy Ed, 3 straight losses to close the season. One was inexplicable, the loss to LSU. Really competitive, tough fight against Alabama. That was the best game the Gators maybe have played under Dan Mullen. Maybe that's a stretch, but it's certainly one of their better games. They lose. And then there's just the total egg laying in Texas against Oklahoma. I don't know what that was. And we know that was just not, the Gators kind of, but the post game and that whole thing was weird. And then the job searching kind of, I don't know. Then you got Kirby, Mark Stoops, Lane Kiffin, and Josh Heupel on Tuesday. And, Lane Kiffin's always an attraction. Mark Stoops is probably the best coach nobody talks about at Kentucky. He's done about as good a job you can do in this league. That top 10 finish 2 years ago in 2019 or whatever it was, top 11. I mean, they whipped Penn State. I know that. That was a good Kentucky team. June 21st, Wednesday, Mike Leach, Jimbo, Clark Lee, who I don't think anybody knows who that is, and then Nick Saban, who is going to headline the thing. Really, everybody gets all worked up when it's Alabama's turn. And it's not just been Nick Saban. It's whenever Alabama goes in Alabama, it's just a whole fiasco. And we're going to see this year if it's going to be the same type of fiasco because there's not going to be fans permitted. The league has become very stringent on who can move around where and so forth. And now with COVID, it's really become that way. So, Radio Row will not be the same monster that it's been. You're not going to have any autograph seekers. People, if you do not have a badge, you're not going to be allowed into the hotel. I wish they would do that all the time to some degree, but this is in some cases the only way that folks can talk and see the fans can see coaches and players. So maybe it won't be as nuts when Alabama goes. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of expectation on Alabama. They've not lost since they lost to, I think, Auburn in 2019. Did they lose to Auburn in 2019? I'm sure someone will correct me. Final day, Sam Pittman, Brian Harrison, and then Drinkowitz from Mizzou. Definitely not the biggest 3 personalities, but you don't want Alabama going on the last day. This is the way it's been for a while. Florida typically goes day 1. That's been their day. Georgia typically goes day 2. Bama day 3, and Auburn has been day 4. And, obviously those are 4 of the best schools in the league traditionally. You also have LSU, who's moved around a little. Carolina's moved around a little too. But I am curious to see who the league picks to win, who the media picks to win the league. It'll be Alabama. What I'm curious to see is by how much will they pick Alabama? Because how many people are really going to pick Georgia to win the league? I mean, there's only been 3 programs that have won the league in the last, 5 or 6 years, whatever it is. So, you got Bama, Georgia, LSU. Noah's going to pick LSU to win the league. So that's going to be one thing that I watch. And then the other is going to be how wide a margin will it be in the West between Bama and Texas A&M, and in the East between Georgia and the Gators. I expect it to be wider. Well, I don't know. I expect it to be a little wider in the East because of, it seems like there's a bigger gap between Dogs and the Gators than Bama and Texas A&M. But you can't ever forget where you're at here. And the two largest media contingents in the league are Alabama and Florida. I mean, there's a lot of people from Florida that cover the SEC. It's the state. It's the largest state in the footprint of the league. Is Texas larger? Now I always forget that Texas is larger. So there's not as much a large contingent though from Texas A&M. This will be their 8th or 9th trip to Birmingham or to Media Day. So it's a whole, poop show. I would use a different term, but this is a family program. It's always a big poop show. Georgia's going to be very robotic doing their thing, but Monday will be fun, man. I mean, you're going to have Dan Mullen and Ed Orgeron, and there's a lot to be said just from those two, because the pressure's on. I mean, the pressure is on for Ed Orgeron. He's got to win now. They can't have any more 4-loss seasons or whatever they were, 5-5 this past year. That ain't going to work. You've also got Dan Mullen, who is on a 1-year situation with the NCAA. LSU's got all of this sexual or whatever is going on in Baton Rouge. It just is a mess there. So there's a lot of, not great on day one in terms of those guys are going to have to answer those questions. I mean, it's not going to be, chummy. Day two, it'll be the Lane Kiffin show, and that's all right. He'll be going at the same time. They'll be rotating through with Tennessee. Of course, Ole Miss goes to Tennessee this year, so that will be fun, I guess, watching Lane Kiffin go up there to play Tennessee. You would think they would win that game, but we'll just see. Mark Stoops, nobody will talk about, but again, he's been very good. Day three, Saban and Jimbo. So 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then Pittman, Brian Harrison, and or Harsin. I'm sorry, Auburn people, but I don't know what it is, and y'all say that Jordan is Jordan, so I can't help you out. And then Drinkowitz to kind of wrap the thing up. It's good to get back to regular media days. It's not great to be going to Birmingham. I'm going to vent for a second here. This event should be in Atlanta, and it should be in Atlanta every single year. There's no reason for it not to be at the College Football Hall of Fame. Gary Stokan and staff know what they're doing. It's a college playoff semifinal location. It's a New Year's Six location. It's where the SEC championship game is. This should be in Atlanta. And for the folks that don't like that, fix the roads in Alabama. I'm tired of the potholes, I-20. It's embarrassing for that to be that bad for that long. I mean, I've been driving past Talladega to go to Birmingham for however many years now. The road is not better. It's insane to me that it's that bad. And honestly, Atlanta's nicer than Birmingham. Y'all can get triggered if you want to. It's the truth. Birmingham. Period. That's all I've got to say. I'm going to get myself in trouble here. Move it to Atlanta or somewhere else. Nashville, but it belongs in Atlanta. That's where it should be.